Oh,
Check that your voice is being picked up.
oh yeah, right.
Oh yeah, make sure you're recording.
Oh, that too.
Yes.
We've had so many cases where one or the other is like missing.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay, well, it's not picking up. I can also, like, what's easier is at least I can press the mute button on my Blue Yeti.
I feel like sometimes we also say we'll re-record things later and then we don't do
No.
it.
That's because they
Yeah,
take
we're
time.
just like, it's fine.
Also, we don't have saves for it either.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because then you have to go back. Alright. So we talked to Iris about colonoscopy.
Colonoscopy?
Huh? What?
Nothing.
What? I don't remember
Excuse
that
me?
part. Mr. Attorney.
Stereoscopy.
Stereoscopy.
Ah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I thought people would catch that.
I'm a bio major. Period.
That ledger that's open on the counter there really is enormous, isn't it? It must be an awful lot of work to keep track of all these hundreds of items in one.
It's too much to think about. Better to sell it on and have a clear head if you ask me.
But clearly, Mr. Winterbank was very careful when it came to the articles in his care.
I really like this investigation theme.
That's a music box. Do you have them where you come from, Reno?
Yes, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan.
Oh, well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen?
I've probably listened to this before.
What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound?
It's a beautiful sound, yes, but fierce looks.
We only heard fierce looks.
It's a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you fierce looks.
Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Gregsy to have a word.
Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard.
These shelves are where the pawnbroker puts articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy.
Yes, it's really strange, Mr. Lang, isn't it? I mean, who would buy this horse statue, for example?
Well, sometimes you can find real treasures among all the junk, you know? Are you alright, Reno?
Oh, it's just... well, it looks like a collection of useless junk as a whole, but when you pick out individual things, you can't help wishing you owned them. Even that horse statue.
That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever.
Let's see what else can we
You're gonna get the cross-eyed animation again.
I honestly just want some of you to, like, send me a picture of you going cross-eyed. No, don't do
No.
that.
No.
Not a chance.
I'll give you the eyes emoji, but flipped, so it's cross-eyed.
Ugh. I wonder if there's a cross-eyed emoji.
I
Need
can,
to change, I guess.
I can Photoshop David McGann's stare so I can get
Yeah.
cross-eyed.
No, I can already imagine it.
Do that for the next thumbnail. Or
Yeah, he can look at his
thumbnail.
little like hair noodle in the middle.
Oh, what? Huh. That
Hair
actually works.
noodle.
Yeah, he's already cross-eyed there. Yeah, I don't need a Photoshop. And
Behind the door is the storeroom, isn't it? That's what Gregsy said.
Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window in the door. Mr. Winterbank, face down on the floor with Gina beside him.
Jasmine, are you or I taking society?
Uh,
Are you gonna do Gina?
I think I'm still Gina for this.
Okay. As the accused's legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruhodo. We must make a thorough investigation.
Yes, of course. And we will. Behind that door, that's the real scene of the crime. Yeah.
Don't worry. If there are clues in there, I'll find them.
Oh, that's Oh, we haven't presented the armband. Never mind.
Would you mind if I showed you this, Iris? It's just a boring little thing, really, but...
Oh, I don't really like boring things.
It looks like Japanese modesty is easily misinterpreted by young Western children.
I mean, who does like boring things? No one wants to be shown something boring. To think of it, you're always introducing things with, this is boring, but it's a bad habit. Should stop it.
I'll be sure to let the entire population of the Empire of Japan know on my return.
Just got a point. Oh, there we go. What do you mean there's more?
16th April, Winterbank's storeroom.
Poor Iris. She's clammed up completely.
Ours is bound to be difficult. After all, Mr. Winterbake's life was taken in this very room only last night.
Oh!
Wait, Inspector!
Oh, sorry.
What is it now, sunshine?
You took one look at me and tried to run away.
You think a Scotland Yard inspector will run away from some jumped up little defense lawyer, do ya? Well, I've never seen our ladyship looking like that before, that's the thing. I didn't know what to say to her.
So you weren't running away from me. You were running away from a 10-year-old.
I'm afraid this is all a little bit much for young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector.
Hey? Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. Oh, at least you're not dead, are you?
I don't think that went very well.
Why? Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine, and I told you not to get under my feet.
And we have investigating to do ourselves.
Yes. I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say.
Oh,
And inquire into how Mr. Sholmes' operation, is going. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Oh, you've got eyes, haven't you? Use them! It's what it looks like. Nothing more, nothing less.
Iris, could you lend me a hand?
So, Gregsy, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Oh, yes, your ladyship. Do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. The one and only door to the storeroom was found locked from the inside.
So it was locked from the inside.
The lock appears to be broken now, though. Was that the police officer's doing?
Quite right, ma'am, quite right. Took liberty of smashing the door in as humbly as possible.
Oh my god. Oh.
As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor, thus-wise. And next to the formation body, we discovered the vile gutted child.
Are you talking about Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector.
That's the Strahd, the hapless girl, was curled up on the floor, dead to the world.
She's still alive, Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious.
And I'm afraid to say, she had the gun, Wolf, that was used in her hand.
No.
Presumably, it's the gun. Yeah, it's still down there on the floor now.
In the pocket, we found a key to the door as well.
What? The key to the storeroom?
And you say, the storeroom had been locked from the inside gone, Inspector?
Right, all of which leaves her ladyship's friend. It's something of a sticky situation, Wolf, I'm afraid. Obviously, my personal opinion is that it's also sort of misunderstanding.
Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is.
Gregsy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright?
The thing is,
Don't mince your words, Inspector. Please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is...
Oh, the operation's done and dusted! It's just that, well...
Out with it!
Yes, ma'am! They use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing, renders the whole body insensitive.
The whole body anesthetized? Is that even possible?
It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep.
Goodness. In the Empire of Japan, you can just manage to provide laughing gas for a tooth extraction.
The trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you feel my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for them to nod off. Or so I hear. And now that the op's finished, they can't get him to wake up, apparently.
Oh my.
No one knows if it's the anesthetic still in the system or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes around again.
Hurley.
The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you.
What a surprise. In matters of life and death, Mr. Sholmes has to do things his way.
What a fighter. We stand this kind of people.
The police have marked the position of the body with a chalk line.
Oh, Mr. Winterby. He's a nice old man.
Well, he was shot just once through the heart. Most likely the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing.
This must be his blood,
Yeah.
then.
Ah,
I don't like to ask at such a wretched time, Iris, but I wonder if perhaps...
don't worry, Susie. I'm ready for action.
Oh god, no, ow! So, now we know the color, yawn, the chemical tones when it reacts with Mr. Winniebake's blood. The oxygenated.
And it doesn't match our analysis of the bloodstain we found in the main shop.
No, but let's add the sample to the others we've already collected anyway.
This is a revolver. A real one.
And quite possibly, the murder weapon, Yawn, used to take Mr. Winniebank's life.
What's the matter, Susie? You and Runo look like you're about to faint.
Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh.
And I've had issues with guns in the past. But anyway, we saw Mr. Winbank with us yesterday, didn't we?
Oh god. Don't do it. Don't do it. Mr. Windybanks. Sing your own tune of terror. It's your time.
Matt.
Matt.
His voice also may just be not working. His internet and all.
This usually happens. Yeah. Should we give him like 15 seconds? Oh. 15 seconds.
Sure.
Or 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, it actually went faster than like actual 15 seconds, so someone take him.
Oh, that's fair. Someone,
I shall have to take my own life.
But that was it.
Sam.
Oops. It must be the same gun. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole going to the storeroom, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand.
Mr. Winniebank told us that he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he?
Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired.
So we can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from his revolver. Out of all the articles in the storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked.
Yeah. Ah,
What is it, Iris?
that's the box file, yeah? That my manuscript has been kept in.
Oh!
Iris's unpublished story. The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Yeah.
Surely that's not what all of this...
Jasmine, you're up.
Well, sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you.
You must check inside the box at once.
Yes.
Ah?
Aw.
It was there! Iris' story was there!
Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris?
Yes. I mean, of course I believed Hurley when he said he deposited it here, but still. It's a relief to actually see it.
Really? Because that's not a very well hidden crown. Inspector Gregson, can you give me your opinion about this?
We don't tend to share, Sunshine. Not with the general public.
In that case, Grexy, how about some herbal tea?
What's that going to be? Slurping noises.
Nope. Oh, I see, yeah.
Lovely. Not very much. Not really hit the spot. No, sure.
You don't mind sharing that, then?
Oh, yes, I do.
No, it's okay. Please, just drink all of it.
Not very much.
Proceeds to drink.
Doesn't care about you, no? I see. Oh, but you can have some more tea.
Drinks more than a frat boy.
Brr.
Is that what I think it is? Your ladyship's latest?
Yes, my latest story. It's called The Hound of the Baskervilles.
A most fascinating title, your ladyship. Fascinating. And, I don't suppose. Would there be any mention of my homo self in the tale this time?
Good question. I can't really remember.
I see. Well, why wouldn't you, your ladyship? I just await its publication with eager anticipation.
You needn't worry, Inspector. I'm sure if you do appear, you won't be doing anything particularly remarkable.
Got him.
Oh, wow. Bruh.
You looking to be arrested, Sunshine?
I didn't mean it like that! Even if I did, you wouldn't have bitten her ladyship's head off, would you?
Wow.
Look on the back of this print here. There's something written on it.
13th February, 9 p.m. Article deposited, 1 small box. Total amount paid, 10 shillings. Redemption deadline, 13th of April, 9 p.m.
So this photographic print is a redemption ticket.
For an article that was deposited 2 days prior to the incident on the omnibus, it would seem.
Yes, small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it?
Perhaps it contains some valuable mementos.
I can't help wondering. Presumably, Mr. McGilda never redeemed the article in question, since he still had the ticket. So, isn't it possible that the box is still present somewhere in the shop?
Ah, yes. If it's something McGilda deposited, we need to investigate. This is the ticket that Gina brought in here yesterday.
Yes, having been entrusted to her by Mr. McGilda 2 months earlier. Article deposited, 1 gentleman's overcoat.
And the other redemption ticket was in the pocket of that coat.
Yes, for a small box, deposited 2 days before the omnibus incident.
Could that have anything to do with all this?
talk to this guy. Or not.
The police are scouring every inch of this place by the look of it.
Instructions from the yard are to examine every article in the shop and every ledger and book of accounts.
Every article? But that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely.
You've been hard at it ever since the shop was declared a crime scene in the early hours.
Hello.
We're sifting through it all in shifts at least. But still, we'll be working through the night, that's for sure. And even then, we'll barely have scratched the surface.
A crime in pawnbrokers. Must be every policeman's worst nightmare.
Every copper's worst nightmare, you know? A crime and the pawnbrokers.
Wow, even this Bobby can also read his thoughts.
It's almost like I'm speaking it out loud.
It reminds me of what character in 999?
You mean like Jumpy and
Yeah, Jump. Yeah.
Green blood. It just seems wrong somehow.
Oh, there's all sorts of different colors. There are pretty pinks and purples too, you know. Like I said, everyone's blood is different.
I wonder what color my blood will turn out. Actually, I don't want to know. I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday instead. Here we are, though I'm not confident I can get it closed again.
Oh yes, that's a folding stereoscope.
Really? This is a stereoscope. Mr. Sean showed us a picture yesterday that you were supposed to be able to see in 3 dimensions. But for that, he used the great big contraption over there.
Ah, well, that's for use in public houses and places like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But this little thing is much simpler designed for use at home. There are special shops selling prints that you could use in them. I have a little collection myself.
I wonder if I could make money out of these in Japan. It would be keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyway. Mr. Sean said he deposited it at window.
I'm the Scats Man.
Mr. Sean said he deposited it at Windows, and he had.
But it's so strange.
Wait, is that like a typo? And he had. Oh, he had. Okay. So.
I think there should be a comma.
What is it about this particular story? I worked so hard on it. Why would Hurley say I can't publish it?
I'm afraid I have no idea. All you can do is wait until he's ready to tell you, I suppose.
Oh, maybe. It's because Hurley isn't in it enough. Maybe I didn't give him enough good lines.
Yes, maybe. I wish I could say that definitely isn't the reason, but I can't.
I know the first time I did this, I also missed something. I felt like I missed something. Oh, let me try moving away. Maybe I'll our system. Try and go to. Oh, never mind.
16th April, local prison, cell 13.
Gina doesn't appear to be here.
I believe she must be in questioning at the moment.
Oh, but wait a minute.
What is it, Iris?
Well, if you examine the scene here carefully, there's another possibility, isn't there? Ginny could have slipped the key to the jailer when he wasn't looking and escaped.
Oh my!
Why would she do something like that? It would only make her situation worse.
Calm down, Bruno. I was only joking, of course.
Oh. You had me worried there. I thought it was a great deduction.
Yes, it must be with your way with words, Iris. You're so wonderfully persuasive. Perhaps you don't fully understand the weight your words carry.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. I suppose a light-hearted great the bit. Oh, that's a T. I suppose a light-hearted great detective is a contradiction in terms.
Well, in the same situation, I'm sure Mr. Sholmes would have just thrown his head back and guffawed.
I'm not entirely sure that's helpful, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, anyway, it looks like we won't be able to talk to Gina for a while. We should try to make progress with our investigation in the meantime.
Yes. Come along then, Bruno. Come along, Susie.
Oh man. Let's see if there's anything else here. Nope. What is that in the main job that I miss? 50% something. Iris? Probably something out of the section. Never get this right. Boring things. Boring Did we do this already? No, right?
No.
Oh, Jenny, this is all my fault, really. But she'll be alright, won't she? Poor tomorrow, I mean.
I'll defend her with everything I've got.
So, she'll be alright, won't she?
Am I that bad at this confidence?
Oh, whoopsies. That was all new stuff.
The way you can identify differences in people's blood like this is amazing. You really are a genius, Iris.
So there was a line for Iris.
I know, I am. If Hurley and I put our minds to it, we could really shake up Britain's chemists and alchemists.
And you could shake up Japan's lawyers and judges, couldn't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, for sure. Even if I didn't intend to.
God, I had such trouble figuring out what I had to look at last time. Oh, is it cameras? No. Go back.
Is a thing inside the crime scene?
I don't think anything there that I didn't look at already was necessary. If that makes sense. But I'll try.
Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them.
I can't believe how many there are.
A bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings. Look.
Pieces of different people's lives quietly gathered across the meeting together. There's something very peaceful about the atmosphere. Or at least there would be if not for the chalk outline on the floor and the policemen shuffling around.
Not much I can do about that, sunshine.
Iris,
Don't worry, I'm all right. But we must find the true culprit.
Yes, absolutely. That was.
Films, maybe?
What is that?
The films?
I don't think they had a.
Oh,
What are you looking at?
like the films.
Oh, yeah,
Good.
those are already.
Oh, okay. The phonograph you already looked at?
I think it's a. Yeah. Let's try it. Oh shoot.
Nope.
Darn it.
Inspector, what do you make of this?
Oh, what have we here then? There's a ticket for an article deposited here, is it? Looks like someone read out office stationery and wrote the ticket on whatever paper was to hand. Yes, this is a ticket for Mr. McGilda's overcoat. The one that little diver turned up
Sorry.
Oh, actually, no, it's...
with yesterday.
Oh, actually, no, it's not.
Really? Think you know better than me, do ya?
No, I didn't mean to...
Bruno's right, Gregsy. It isn't the same ticket.
Of course it isn't, of course it isn't. I never doubted you, your ladyship. So, what's this all about then, if I might be so bold as to ask?
This is a second ticket, yeah?
A second one?
It seems that Mr. McGilda, in fact, had another article in storage here at Windows.
Is that right?
I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, good. Because he's ever so easy to talk to. This ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilda's overcoat.
Hey, you mean to tell me?
Yes, there was more than just music books. There was disc, it seems.
I should have insisted on the lads taking it back to the yard and examining properly.
Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGilda deposited another article beyond here with Mr. Windybank.
Yes, I can see written here. A small box work, was it?
Do you have any idea where it is, Gregsy? Any idea at all? It's another article, yeah? Belonging to Mr. McGilda. It could be an important clue.
Well, yes, I suppose it could be. Please, stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes all full of hope and expectation. There's too much pressure. I'll lose me marbles, I will. I'll go bucking. Off.
This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector.
Fancy the sauce from you, sunshine. There's one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline, Wolf, already passed, isn't it?
Oh, yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months.
So the small box, Bjorn, will no longer be in here, then.
That's right. It's been forfeited.
Which means It could be on the shelves in front of the shop, where the forfeited items are offered for sale.
Yes, the shelves in the front. We must search them at once.
You're wasting your time.
Oh,
There are dozens of little boxes out there, hundreds even. We can't possibly know which one might have been gilded. That information's not written in the ledger.
Well, I think we should at least have a look, just in case.
Of course, your ladyship, of course! Very sensible of you, I'm sure.
This is getting old.
Oh, it didn't pick you up.
sorry.
Maybe OBS did though. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's true, actually. Well, actually, I don't know, it didn't.
Oh,
We didn't hear anything.
Yeah, because I muted my microphone.
oh.
Yes, this is where all the... Yes,
Oh.
this is where all the items that have been forfeited by the original owners are offered for sale.
That's right. They've all got little price labels on them, but there are so many.
I wonder if the small box this ticket was for is still on the shelf somewhere. The box that McGilden deposited here just over 2 months ago.
Even if it were, finding it promises to be very troublesome indeed.
There's so many boxes. It could be any one of them.
Mr. Sholmes said that the pawnbrokers was the safest place to store anything, more secure than the bank's vault. So perhaps this small box of Mr. McGilden's contains something of very great value.
Well, if that's the case, he probably had kept it in the bin. I messed it up. Well, if that's the case, he'd probably have kept it locked.
So then we need to find every box with a lock and break them all open.
Hiya! Nice. That sort of misconduct will get you arrested. I won't let that happen.
This takes me back. It's been some time since Yusato-san last threw me.
I can do it more.
I know.
It's like one more thing.
Was it the bench and the horse?
No, it has to do with shooting. I'm looking at the case file right now on the wiki.
Did you examine or analyze the blood on the notes yet?
Oh, we didn't specifically analyze it. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's like one of the weird ones. That, like... Oh, wrong one. Mr. Naruhodo, I don't know if you noticed, but there's something rather troubling here.
I have noticed.
The red smear, you mean?
Yes. It looks like blood, doesn't it? I wondered if Susato-san had picked up on that. Well, in that case,
Yes, we need Iris.
we should show this to her before we forget.
No worries, I just did this part in the game.
Oh, that looks like blood, yeah?
I would say it from a gloved finger. Almost certainly a glove made of leather. Yeah.
Well, don't worry, Reno. You can leave the rest to me.
Where?
Whoa, purple blood.
Look at that.
Yes, that's a color in here that you haven't seen before.
I simply must add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Although, it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point.
Well, this particular stain of blood.
Oh, you've had an idea, haven't you? Do you know whose blood this is?
Yes, I have an idea whose blood it is. Not from the color term, but a little deduction. Yeah.
That's right. I think it's clear.
Iris, you know as well.
You first, Reno. Who do you think it belongs to?
Alright, I believe that this is the blood of thrice-fired Mason.
You don't sound very sure of yourself, the way you trailed off there.
Well, it was 2 months ago now, in that case. And of course, I never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely thrice-fired.
The victim, Bjorn, of the omnibus case. Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. But that would mean that this bloodstain was left on the ticket 2 months ago, Bjorn.
Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Wind Banks yesterday. I'm suggesting that the bloodstain was already on it at that time.
So it's a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago.
Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilder was also wearing leather gloves beyond that night.
Now I ask yous, what a good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
It certainly does look like a leather glove thumbprint. Yeah, this mark. But we know that Mr. McGilden had no injuries at the time anywhere on his body. From which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason.
Mr. Naruhodo, you sound just like Mr. Sholmes.
Minus the quirky slip-ups. Yeah, it helped.
Yes, I think you're right, Irino.
Very well. Let's make a note of this. Alright, there we go.
Ah! I nearly jumped out of my skin there. How could Mr. Winterberg set up such a wicked trap?
I doubt he's set out to scare anyone.
Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon.
Oh?
Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind.
Don't you remember, Bruno? Ginny told her she could rip the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer.
Really? Did I say that?
Yes?
You did.
The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching.
In that case, we had better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again.
Move.
16th April, 5:41 p.m. Local prison, cell 13.
Ah, Gina, good. You're back.
The police must have finished questioning her then.
Oh, how was it, Ginny? Was it awful?
Don't bother me.
Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate the windbags.
Right.
Don't you want to know how we got on? We've been ever so busy.
What's the point in asking? It won't change what everyone's saying. That I did it.
That's not...
Gina, we came to ask for your final decision.
What decision?
About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you or not?
I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you.
Right, I see.
She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. I know what that feels like. The worry is just so hard to bear.
Oh, Tsundere. What?
Really?
Oh, all right then. Blimey, give it a rest with them eyes, Cyrus. So come on then, fill us in. Who done it?
Unfortunately, we don't know that yet.
You don't say.
We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you're innocent of this crime.
And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit was, there are a number of interesting facts that we have to manage to establish.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Well, for example, the reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know now why you broke into Windbags that night. It looks like I'm going to have to take some evidence that clearly reveals the reason.
Yeah.
And thrust it in Gina's face. Or I could present it to her calmly, I suppose.
Or we could break... Hey. Or we could break her psyche locks.
That's not a game mechanic here.
Those weren't invented yet.
Bagatama, it didn't exist yet.
No Bula channeling power yet. We have the representation papers and other documents we need.
All I have to do is hand them to the court clerk. That is, if you'll allow me to represent you in court tomorrow.
Nah, don't bother. Rip them up and chuck them, would ya? Them representation. Okay.
Sorry, no
Ginny.
Rip them up and chuck them, would ya? Them representations or whatever they're called. This still ain't fancy enough to have a bin.
So, what will you do in court tomorrow?
I'll be fine on me own.
you will be.
Look, it don't matter. What's gonna happen is gonna happen.
This is one stubborn pickpocket. We found this in Mr. Winterbeck's story. The manuscript of Iris's latest story.
Ah! Oh, right. Well, that's good then.
Curiously, the story at Winterbeck's showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like, with one exception. The box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night?
Eh?
You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the story last night, isn't it?
Ah!
Why don't you tell us what happened? Please.
Alright, yeah. This Baskerville story is the latest Sherm's adventure, right? But it hasn't been printed yet. So I figured, it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right?
What?
Pretty you're not coming through anymore.
Oops. Oh yes, at least £5,000. Did that go through?
Yes.
Yes.
So, you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you?
No. Jimmy, how could you?
What? Wait, no, hang on. Of course I wasn't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do was find out that manuscript or whatever you call it was really there or not. That's the only reason I was in the first place.
For Iris' sake, isn't that right?
We knew why you'd done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did.
But
I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Jimmy. I just knew it.
well,
When I saw the manuscript in the story, it reminded me of what you'd said the night before.
Crips do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, the lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling ya, that manuscript ain't at Windy Banks. You'd soon seen if you had a look.
If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean, that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Oh, Jimmy, that was so sweet of you.
Alright. I'll tell ya why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. It weren't because of Iris, that's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth, that's all.
You want to know if Mr. Sholmes is being honest? If he had really deposited the manuscript at Windybanks?
It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. She's got a dad, only she can't see him. And I reckon that's gotta be harder. That's why she writes her stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me anyway. Last night when I was listening to what you were saying. Stories? Oh.
Stories about Daddy?
You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective, so much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner.
Well, that's how I see it, yeah.
You're so thoughtful and kind, Ginny.
Yes. And we never thought any differently, did we?
Look! Give it a rest, Wellia!
Oh, what's that on her sleeves?
I hate all this tummy nonsense. Do you hear? I hate it! I don't trust no one, right? That's how I work. Cause if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarper!
I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of that overcoat are some very suspicious red stains.
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
I think it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to Gina now. Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina, they're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet.
What?
But blood, yeah. Wrong thing. But blood, Pion, Mr. Naruhodo.
You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So, could it be blood that spattered Mr. Winterbank when he was shot last night?
Let's not beat around the bush here. The trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else.
Uh-huh.
Take it easy, Iris.
Prepare to die. Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot.
Context.
This is America.
Purple.
Purple. Oh,
Oh my!
What the? Forget the sleeves.
the whole coat is covered in blood.
Of course. The black color of the fabric is masking the stains. That's why we haven't seen them until now.
And the blood has reacted with a chemical to turn a purple Pionpo color, which matches Pion when the samples we've already collected perfect.
Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood, yeah? Aha! Yes, it was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason. Master Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago.
We knew it.
What? What are you all on about? The victim? Yeah? What do you mean?
It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved, Pion. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed.
Oi! Would someone explain what's going on? Stop telling half a story!
Oh, and I get to take versus Sasato.
We can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. Newton's overcoat.
But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony.
It's not my askers. What good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach?
Exact same lines.
I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give them a hand.
But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear these stains couldn't have arisen from Mr. McGildy trying to pull the victim to his feet.
No, if that was what had really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over beyond the front of the coat.
The only explanation for this panic is that it splattered over McGilden's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I've tried to run from the truth. There's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, is Magnus McGilded. Yeah.
What an asshole. I hate that guy.
Arquanka powers.
For Quanka.
Quonka,
For
how
Quonkinya.
could you?
Yeah, I'm right there.
Mr. Naruhodo.
That horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. Yeah. I used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen?
Bruno, did you believe him, though? Did you believe Mr. McGilded was innocent?
I believed. Or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is the defense lawyer's greatest weapon.
A weapon?
Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson.
You mean Kazuma-sama, who's still alive? Oh, he's so handsome. Listen, Ryunosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure which is the truth and which is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have.
Unwavering belief.
Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly.
What's funny, Gina?
Cool. Sounds like in its Empire Japan you come from, everyone must be soft. Well, come on. Look at the mess it's got you into believing in that bog trotter.
Bog trotter.
Yes, I inadvertently helped a murderer walk free.
Well, at least you learnt your lesson now, eh? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. Soon as you let your guard, you rot it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one, get hurt by no one.
Gina, may I ask you something?
What?
I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial?
How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away.
Are you really sure that's what you want?
I bet that's what he wants and all now, Mr. I'm a believer lawyer over there.
And I saw her face.
Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I let everyone up at the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo,
Lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened.
should I trust Gina or should I not trust Gina?
Don't trust her.
Decisions.
What choice do I really have?
No!
I have to believe in it.
No!
Ace Attorney, your choices matter.
Although I can hardly believe myself that I'm making this choice in spite of everything.
What choice?
Let's just put it down to one of life's little curiosities.
Ryunosuke!
Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial.
Eh? Are you off bait?
Not at all. You've not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth.
Seriously, Mr. Narrow Odo, did you hear of what I said before? I'm a born liar. Fibs just trip off me tongue, and I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you into all sorts of trouble. Why would you ever trust me now? I just don't get it.
Gina, I do understand why you choose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you there is more to this life than you yet realize.
What do you mean?
The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down.
Eh?
It's true that I'm just a student of law, and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, until my very last breath, I am completely on your side.
What? What do you expect me to say to that?
Oh.
He's a sun beater.
Then it's decided. I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now, after it's been penned with your name so beautifully.
Do what you like. You Eastern Ward are... I don't know what you are. I don't get ya.
Gina's taken herself off to back of herself. She never admitted, but I hope she's feeling relieved. It turned out all right in the end, I think.
Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice.
Monsieur Sato!
Somebody is there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before.
What?
I guess this is...
Oh, Preston.
Oh, blimey, you're sharp, eh? I suppose you were using one of those mystic Japanese arts, like the art of stealth I've heard so much about.
If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector.
Let's see.
Oh dear me, I'm most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you.
How long have you been listening in our conversation?
Good grief, listening, and no. I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave even though it was after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived this very minute, not a moment earlier. That's all it is, nothing untoward, nothing at all.
After hours? Is it that late already?
So then, I'll humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-ta, toodaloo, cheerio, all the best, bye.
That's a lot of farewells, yeah. Not one of them appropriate for her ladyship.
Oh, but I wanted to have a chat.
I'm terribly sorry, but my time is pressing at the minute.
Oh, I see. That's a shame.
If I don't get this emergency of the Supreme Court dealt with sharpish, Lord Strongheart will.
Emergency?
Lord Strongheart?
Nothing! Forget I said anything! Anyway, I'm off!
All right, Grexy, if you have to. But let's chat soon.
Delighted! Charmed! Can't wait, if you please! My pleasure!
That's a lot of pleasantries, yeah. Not one of them sounded sincere.
Welcome to British people.
Grexy's so funny. He says such silly things.
It's certainly entertaining to see an inspector of the police fawning to a 10-year-old girl. But anyway, I wonder what this emergency, is at the Supreme Court.
I must attend the court clerk's office now before it closes.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Mr. Sutton.
Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later.
And so our investigation came to an end. Susato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defensive team the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Susato-san will be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan.
16th April, 11:13 p.m. Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy.
Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted.
What about you, Susato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Sholmes was shot before our eyes. Gina was arrested. All on the back of the news that her father has fallen ill and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon.
Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm, and yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them.
I know exactly what you mean.
Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for her departure tomorrow.
One final task.
Something right here. It's just 2 months since we arrived in London, but we've managed to establish this office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret.
I'm so sorry, Susato-san.
It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts.
I know we've only been here a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel I've learned something.
And what would that be?
It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities.
Facets.
And like a jewel, the light plays off of them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives. But we only see a small number of the total facets. And what is illuminated is only a part of the whole story. What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on for as long as we live.
That's so true. Facts, man, facts.
Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much. But I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear. That all the facets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything fits together.
Naruhodo-san.
I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark.
It's amazing to think it's just been 2 months. You've grown so much.
Sorry, I've what?
What? Nothing. Oh, nothing. Oh no. It was nothing. Unimportant.
Do you know what time you will leave London?
Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 a.m.
I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station.
Absolutely not.
Sorry.
I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow.
Gina's trial. Yes, I know, but...
Every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you'll find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try.
You mentioned one final task.
Yeah.
A moment ago. What did you mean?
Oh my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this.
What is that? Some huge bundle of documents.
It's my notes, from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus.
The Gilden case.
It seems to me that this case of Mr. Winterberg's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So, I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you.
With everything else she's had to think about, Susato-san still managed to do this, and all neatly laid out for me in a beautiful handwriting.
It was my pleasure. I can only hope that will only bolster your case tomorrow for Gina.
Thank you so much, Susato-san. I will do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Thanks, Sam. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure.
Sorry! I didn't quite catch what you said there.
Oh! Ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself. Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. Anyone? Persona? Meow. I must finish packing up my things in my room.
Susato-san,
I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night,
Wait, there's something I need to say.
Hiya!
What was that?
A secret technique of mine, the Susato shutdown.
Shuts down.
Got the takedown, got the shutdown. Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears. See you later.
Susato-san. It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and learning the truth about that nemesis of Case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted, and yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. While I forced myself to close my eyes. And as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind. Eventually, my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep.
Seventeenth April, the small hours. St. Sida's Hospital, Ward 3.
This is Sholmes.
Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind.
I think that's me, actually.
Oh,
that
never
is a great.
mind.
That is a great weight off my mind.
Rest assured, I shall put everything in place, exactly as we have discussed.
Thank you so much. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes.
On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. My dear madam.
Secret.
Dun
Oh.
dun dun.
Hmm,
What is she
To be
planning?
continued.
interesting.
She up
We are in
to-
cahoots.